Alright, so today I'm going to do a bit of a talk on my Warhammer Fantasy Tomb King's army, which is pretty much brand new. I bought this a couple of weeks ago, and what we're looking at now is just a certain portion of my army here. Now, for those of you who don't know, Warhammer Fantasy is a tabletop game. It's the counterpart of Warhammer 40,000, which is the science fiction version with Space Marines and Eldar, and it's that's the tabletop game that Dawn of War is based on. But this is Warhammer Fantasy, and this is something completely different. This is the sort of fantasy medieval style thing with undead skeletons and elves, not space elves as you guys know them, but just like warriors fighting with swords and shields and stuff. And I'm collecting an army which I've used a couple of times on the field, lost twice, but I'm a returning player. I haven't played Warhammer in like 10 years, so getting back into it is a real learning curve. So that's some of my skeletons there. You can see the tomb scorpion in the middle, and the cavalry in the background. I've got like a 15-strong unit of skeleton horsemen with a lich in the front row and some chariots in the background. One point is that I've only had a couple of weeks to start painting, and obviously I've been playing a little bit of computer gaming in the meantime. As for Dawn of War 2, pretty bored of that right now, so not really playing much Dawn of War 2 or doing any videos on that, but maybe later, who knows. We'll see if Relic gets any patches done. So yeah, they have it. I haven't actually really got much painting done. This is only dry brushing some like base white. It's actually rotting flesh, the color on these guys. So let's just go to another picture. This guy here is the Tomb King himself. I'm calling him Tomb King Thoth, just to give him a bit of a name to be funny. Now, the interesting thing about this particular model is that I've used green stuff modeling putty to actually make it look like there are flames all over his chariot, because I actually give him the magic item, that Chariot of the Sun, or whatever you call it, the one that makes him do d6+1 impact hits with the chariot. So that's kind of cool. Obviously I haven't finished painting this guy either. I've just done one coat of like gold dry brushing and the rotting flesh white color over him. Plenty more yet to do on all of the models in this army. The only things that are anywhere near finished are the carrion. Just while I'm on the picture of the Tomb King, this particular guy gets equipped with the Flail of Skulls and the Collar of Shepesh. There are lots of other choices to go with. I'm liking that combination at the moment. You can also... a really good Tomb King's equipment idea is really to put him on foot, give him the Destroyer of Eternities, give him the Collar of Shepesh, put him in a unit of Tomb Guard or something, and that's quite a common Tomb King tactic, and I might do that eventually when I continue to play Tomb Kings, but for now, I really like the Chariot idea because I can give him the modelled flames and stuff, so that's the Tomb King. While I was on the topic of painting, how painted things are, I'm just going to bring up the carrion here. This is one model that I've come close to actually finishing. You can see it's actually been dry brushed and highlighted a little bit, and the base is done. And there are a couple of carrions to the left in the background. You can't really see them in the shot, but that's how I would like most of the models in my army to be painted by the end of it, just up to a nicer standard like that. I haven't really used that many colors in the model, but I like keeping it thematic. It tends to look good when you've got a lot of figures painted up like that. And here's my desk set up. You can see my computer in the background, a bit of a widescreen monitor for playing games like Dawn of War and that, and painting set up in the foreground. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. One thing that I haven't, I'll just show you the next picture here. This is the Casket of Souls. The reason why I haven't actually got this out of its box yet is because I'm going to a tournament in 2 weeks. And that tournament is designed for newer players, and the thing is that they've placed heavy restrictions on the kind of units that you take. You can't take a Casket of Souls at all. You can't take any dragons, or you can't take any duplicate rare units, and there are restrictions on the amount of special choices and the amount of shooting guys and the amount of characters and items and everything. They've just really made it very draconian in the rules, and it's very soft. So I'm just going to enter that tournament with a really dulled down list and break out the Casket of Skulls after Casket of Souls after the tournament. And this is really the only reason I got back into Warhammer Fantasy, is because I wanted to use this particular model. It's a cool model, and I just like the concept of it, even if it's not that powerful against every opponent. I mean, magic resistance, for example, fucks it up pretty badly. I'm still going to go ahead with the Casket of Souls because I like it. Next picture I'm going to show you here is my skeleton bowmen. You can see some of them are sort of dry brushed up, some of them aren't. The front row of each of these two units. I've got a couple of units of bowmen. Basically, I bought two battalions worth of Tomb Kings. Those are those big box sets with tons of guys in it, and based my army around those because price is an object. Really had to consider how much these models would cost before collecting an army, and that's one of the things determining what kind of army I'd gone for. I mean, I could have gone for an army with just tons and tons of chariots or something, but not quite as viable as getting the battalions in terms of logistics. This other picture here is just to illustrate, you can see my Eldar in the background, but this is just illustrates how much work it took to actually glue this stuff together. There's so many sprues. It's just tons of them. It took ages to pull the whole army together, but it was quite satisfying once it was done and spray painted up. This next picture here just shows you some of the additional models that I'm not using in my tournament army, and they're kind of in a state of disrepair. You can see one Tomb King on foot in the foreground. I'll start to use him later on, but for now I'm just enjoying the Chariot guy. Just FYI, the games that I have lost weren't really because of my army composition at all. They were just because I made mistakes in deployment and general decisions during the game, which I wouldn't have made if I'd been a more experienced player. But that's the fun of it right now. One of the fun things about any game, any strategy game at all, is the learning. And if you play a game and realize that you could do something totally better next time, there's the anticipation of that, and that's what makes it really fun. That's one reason why I'm not enjoying Dawn of War 2 right now, by the way, but it is one reason why I'm enjoying Warhammer Fantasy a lot. Let's go to the next picture where you can see my Lich Priest on the skeletal steed with some other horsemen. Really enjoying this unit. I've got a massive unit of 15 of them. It's a little bit unwieldy, but if it makes it into combat, you can typically outnumber your opponent with unit strength of like 30, 32, 34, if I've got the extra guy at the end at the back. And they've got a war banner, so that's kind of cool. This other photo here is of just the basic Lich on foot. I generally make him my Hierophant and give him the Cloak of June so he can rush around the table and actually land incantations to whatever needs it. Next photo here is the Scullapult, also known as the Screaming Skull Catapult. I've spent a bit of time painting this one up. Man, this has probably been the most effective part of my army so far. I've been using it to total good effect here. First game I played, I made like 3 of my opponents just panic and run away, unluckily for him, at the start of the game. In the second game I played, I totally crushed a unit of Glade Guy, like I just massacred them, got like 14 kills with that catapult, amazingly, so that was awesome. Just can't wait to keep using that thing in battle. And what else have we got here? Units of melee skeletons. I really loved putting these guys together in these sorts of poses and painting them up. It's just great fun. They've got a lot of character to them, and it's really cool to see them, and I can't wait to get them painted up a bit better. So that's pretty much it. Here's one of my other Scorpions. The tail didn't really want to glue on properly, so it's kind of like, rather than standing up in a 90-degree angle above his body, it's just sort of to the side on the ground. But Tomb Scorpions are fun. One problem I've been having is not really getting them fighting the targets that I've wanted to. Sometimes when I tunnel them, the enemy sort of intercepts them before they can reach the war machine if they've actually stood their guys on top of the tunnel. And they really should be attacking either war machines or like knights or something, because that's what they're best at. And a last picture here of just you can see some of my chariots. I've got 4 in the foreground and 3 in the background. I've been using a large unit of 5 chariots with the king amongst them. It's a very unwieldy unit, but at least I can apply the banner bonus of either the Mirage Standard or the Icon of the Secret Eye to everybody in the unit. Probably what I'll start doing in future is splitting them up into 2 groups of 3, probably more effective in general, but for now I'm trying out the large unit of chariots to see how I can go with it. Well, that's it for the Tomb Kings. Hope you guys enjoyed this look. What I'll be doing is posting videos and so forth of battles when I'm ready, and I'll give you guys some updates on how the Tomb King army is looking once it starts to get painted a bit more. But hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm definitely really stoked on Warhammer Fantasy right now, so I'll be spending a lot of time on it. And yeah, I'll let you guys know how I go.